Yeah, we're on the Mexican border. This is Pastor Peter Christian Hessing reporting from the Mexican border. This is in Douglas, Arizona. Here, and you see in the distance here the border of Mexico. Douglas is a city in Arizona which borders on Mexico. You can actually walk from Arizona here in the United States and walk right into Mexico. And there is a town, Mexican town, Agua Prieta, which is much larger than Douglas. Douglas is a very small town, about 20,000 people or so there. And of course the border has become so controversial now that we have a new president-elect coming in, Donald Trump, who has really threatened to build a border, build a wall, between Mexico and America. And of course, you have, there the you have a border that runs between Mexico and America, all the way from, you can say, Texas, Louisiana, coming through New Mexico, coming into Arizona, all the way across to California. So it's nearly probably 2,000 miles. And of course, President Trump has actually saying that he wants to build just a 5-foot wall because he feels that will stop illegal immigration. But I think we have to take a more positive look at it. Mexico is our neighbor. They represent billions of dollars worth of trade. A lot of our exports, billions of dollars worth of trade, billions of dollars worth of jobs here in America. And if you just shut down the border, Trump is trying to reduce you can say our relations with Mexico. You're gonna cause a lot of economic problems. A lot of jobs are gonna be lost. You try to, reduce that Mexican influence, you're gonna lose a lot of jobs. I do feel that we should secure the border so we can stop like the drug trafficking, stop the terrorists from coming in. Something that we should definitely do. But at the same time, you got to think that a lot of business here depend on that trade. We have a lot of big corporations down here that would not survive. Here in Douglas, we have a lot of companies that are built on the border, and they depend on the Mexican consumers coming over from Mexico. We have businesses like Walmart down here. There's Walmart, there's McDonald's, there's Burger King, there's Taco Bell, there's Church's restaurant, there is Carl's, there you have J.C. Penney, you got a lot of the big dollar stores, Dollar General and DoubleTree and so forth. A lot of big companies. There is Circle K. There is a lot of big companies down here that depend on the Mexican consumers from coming over and buying in these stores. If the people from Mexico don't come in, then a lot of these towns on the border, like Douglas, will be ghost town. You're going to lose a lot of jobs. Will be lost. Here we are on International. You can see the International and G Avenue, and across this road you can see all the cars. That's on the Mexican side. Now, Trump wants to build a wall, and I think what they have built here is a fence. As you can see, it's a fence. It's like a 3-layered fence, which I think is a much better idea, because you can see on both sides. We can see what's happening across Mexico. Mexico can see what's happening on this side. So it's a much better system. If you build a high 55-foot wall, you're going to block out the view. You won't be able to see what's happening on the Mexican side. They won't be able to see what's happening on this side. And I think you're gonna be supporting the elite, the drug cartels. You're gonna build a barrier that the drug cartels can use to do illegal activity, because this huge wall is going to do that. And we have to start to think, as you see, what they have is three fences, which is pretty, it's metal. You can't go through it, but at least you can see on the other side. I think the fence is a much better idea. But what we really need to do is to build a modern anti-nuclear shield. I mean, America is most vulnerable when it talks about nuclear attack from the south. I mean, if Russia is going to attack us, they're going to attack us from the south, as they tried to do in the Cuban Missile Crisis. I lived in Jamaica, and we lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis. Had it not ended peacefully, all those countries in the Caribbean would have been destroyed. Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Bahamas, Florida, parts of the United States would have been wiped out if Kennedy wasn't able to make a deal with Khrushchev, the Russians. So we really need to have modern technology. What we really need to do is to build a anti-nuclear border shield, continental shield, that will shield both America, Mexico, and the entire South American continent and the Caribbean. That's what we really need to do. If we're going to spend billions of dollars, let's not just build a blind wall, a blank wall that's just going to stand there and block out the view, but let's build an anti-nuclear continental border shield. You can say border economic shield that will also build our economy. If we're going to do that, then we're going to need energy. You can put up solar panels. Probably if you put up solar panels all along the border, would be probably a much better idea. You can bring in solar panels for energy. That energy you can sell to for commercial purposes to pay for the cost of building a border shield. You know, you're going to need water. You can bring in irrigation, water you can sell to the farmers. Help the farmers out. Transportation, you're going to need transportation, and that's very important, because if we build a reliable border transportation system, whether we're going to put in rail or whatever, that will help us greatly. We won't have to rely so much on the Panama Canal, because what you're having now is a lot of the trade and a lot of our military carriers and submarines, a lot of them have to go through the Panama Canal. We build a modern transportation rail system on the border, then we don't have to rely on the Panama Canal. We can transport a lot of our military assets and a lot of trade going all the way from Florida through Texas, through New Mexico, through Arizona, into California, and we go right into the Pacific, so that we can counter any threat from China or North Korea. If North Korea or China, these countries are going to attack us, they're not going to attack us from the north. They're going to attack us from the south, which is our most vulnerable part. So we really need to build a modern anti-nuclear shield on the southern border, so we can stop the threats coming out of the south. This is where these countries will attack us from. Not the north. They're not going to attack us from the north, because if they attack us from the north, they know we're going to retaliate. And if we retaliate to the north, we're going to wipe out Russia, North Korea, China, because those countries are in the north. So they're going to try to attack us from the south. So we need to really build a modern anti-nuclear border. You can call it border economic shield. That can, you're going to put up cell towers and Wi-Fi and radar and satellites. You can even build a space station. But then you can build a system where you can have factories put in there. So that is what I think Trump and the Republicans need to do. If they're going to spend billions of dollars building a wall, you might as well, the best thing to do is to build a modern anti-nuclear missile shield that can protect continental, economic shield, can protect America, Mexico, other South American countries all the way down to Colombia and Peru and Chile, Brazil, and build into the Caribbean. Because you see, what Russia tried to do, they tried to come into Cuba, and that's what they really wanted to do. And you can have the Caribbean, protect the countries in the Caribbean, there's Jamaica and Haiti and the Bahamas, all the way to Florida. So that's what we really need to spend money doing, rather than just building a blank wall, spending billions on a blank wall. Is gonna be more of a security threat. You're gonna block out the view. You're gonna create a barrier for the terrorists and the cartels. You're going to be strengthening the terrorists and the cartels by building a huge wall which nobody can see back and forth. As you can see with this fence, it's a see-through fence, a metal fence, 3 fences, which is a much secure system. Oh, we can see on the other side, they can't come through it. It's metal. You'd have to try and cut through it there. So this is a much better system, but we really need to take a different approach to this wall that the Republicans and Trump are threatening to build a high-tech anti-nuclear missile economic zone on the border that protects America, Mexico, the South American countries, the Caribbean, and then all these countries can contribute to it, because it will be an anti-nuclear shield for all of the countries from the Caribbean. They'll all will contribute and be a part of it, and it will create a lot of jobs. And with all that modern radar, you would be a better protection against the drug cartels and terrorists who would want to use drugs and traffic drugs and so forth. So that's much a better idea. Now that we have they call boomerang missiles, now we have technology where we can receive nuclear missiles. One of the inventions that I have made, and we have got some patents and copyrights on it in America and international patents in Europe and so forth, Britain. We have a system that can actually do that. So you're much better off building. It is a border patrol going there, but you're much better off building notice we have boomerangs that can receive nuclear missiles and cut them off and boomerang them. You're much modernizing and building a modern anti-nuclear missile shield system. Here we have a border dog down here is barking here. So we're much better off doing that, building a modern system of so we even have dogs on it. So it's not, we're much better off building an anti-nuclear shield system. If you're going to spend billions of dollars building a wall, you might as well build an anti-nuclear shield system rather than just a blank wall, which is